going on? Today, we're gonna learn how to make a camp chair. How many times you've been backwoods camping and you wish that you had a chair? All you can kind of do is go grab like some big old log and you're like, this stinks. So today we are going to see how easy it is to make a nice, comfortable camp chair. And I'll show you all you need to do it. You may recognize this shelter from a few previous videos where I built a primitive survival shelter. It's held up pretty decently. It's been a few months since I've come down here. And if you were at a shelter for a decent amount of time, you'd obviously want to maintain it. So it's not perfect as far as a few shingles go, but it's held up pretty decently. So anyways, let's move on to making a camp chair. We need to find 4 strong branches that are around like 4 feet long. So let's go look for them. My saw, a piece broke off this cheap, silly saw, so I actually have to be extremely careful. I'm glad I got gloves to cut this. And luckily, I'm not cutting anything crazy huge. I got 4 strong pieces, similar length, similar width. Let's go to the next stage. Okie dokie. All right. We got 4 pieces, similar length. I'm going to take the 2 thicker ones and match them together and match these together that are similar length. Now what I want to do is be very careful. Gotta clean up the branches. When you're handling a hatchet or axe, you always have to be extremely careful. So make sure you're always cutting away. So I kind of want to flatten this side a little bit and do it to the same, so that way, you know, they can fit nicely together. Guess that works too. Sometimes naturally your branch ends up doing a little funky thing that makes it work out for what you're trying to do. Now we got to cut a notch here and here. Nothing crazy, you just need the rope to be able to be a little more secure. We got some notches here. They're not extremely pretty, but they'll work. Now we're gonna get some paracord, wrap this around, and do it to the other one. It's quite obvious. Tie some paracord. Make sure you tie a nice, good, strong knot. Smarter to take this and lay it against something. That way, tie it easier. I tied this off. Now I got to do it to the other side. I still got to cut some notches up into this. Almost ready for the next step. It's not very difficult to do this. And I say this all the time. It just takes a little bit of time and patience and some focus. That's what's beautiful about being out in places like this. I mean, you get a lot of chances to focus because there's not a lot of distractions. It's just so beautiful and quiet. All right, hopefully that's strong enough. Now I gotta go look for 2 strong branches to go across here on each side. All right, I got 2 pieces that are similar length, and I want to cut a little notch in here to fit these in on one side and then fit it on the other side. However, they don't want to be perfectly right next to each other. One needs to be lower than the other. So when you create a little space to fit this in here, you tie it and it's less likely to fall. Don't want any pokey guys here. poke you in the butt. So always make sure before you tie it, take another look at it and make sure you're not going to sit on anything that's going to hurt you. So they're not the best notches, but they'll work, and we shall tie the pieces together. All right. See, that's nice and tight right there. So let's tie the other end. I got to get a longer piece. I did not calculate correctly. All right, that's nice and tight. So I got my first piece here. Now I want to do another piece, except for a little higher up on the other side. I should have cut the notch before I did this, but that's okay. It feels like it will hold. So let's tie this with paracord, and then we can move on to our next step. Whee! And the reason why one of these was lower and the other one was higher is we got to fit these guys in here. I can hear a woodpecker somewhere. All right, I added some more sturdiness right here, so we definitely will not collapse when we sit on it. So now I gotta go find some nice long straight pieces to lay this across, take some paracord, make a little comfortable something right here, and then we shall have a bushcraft chair. We clean these guys up. Now a lot of this stuff is dead. You should use live wood if you want to make a permanent chair, and I used some live wood. However, I don't like damaging the environment unless I truly have to. So I don't like the idea of just taking all sorts of live branches just for demonstration purposes. So if you're truly in a situation, yeah, get some live stuff. But for now, we use this. Ooh, mosquitoes. Oh man, telling you, Massachusetts does not get enough credit for its awful mosquito problem. You hear about Alaska. I know Alaska and certain places in Canada, other tropical areas just have a horrifying amount of mosquitoes. However, if you grew up in New England, you know how absolutely horrifying the mosquito problem is. You can get a little more intricate with this if you want to, but tied some paracord here to give my back some support. Okay, this thing is ready to test out, which is a good thing because the sun is about to go down. Not bad. It's actually pretty comfy. This would be very beneficial to have, especially for the back. You don't want to be crouched over the fire or at the campsite without having a nice place to sit. Now, it's not an emergency item that you need to know how to build, but it can definitely be something that gives you a little more comfort, because this is way more comfortable than crouching over the fire or sitting on the ground and getting ants going up your butt. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video. Oh, these mosquitoes. Ay, ay, ay. Dee Dee, we gotta get a fire going.